Shabbat Shalom. Once again, we come into the house of Yah, and we enter into his gates with thanksgiving, into his courts with praise. And we thank you, Most High, by saying Hallelujah. We praise you, O King, and we bless our Master always before we pray by saying Barku et Yahweh, Barku et Yahweh HaMevarach, Baruch atah Yahweh HaMevarach le'aram vayed, Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech ha'olam, Asher Bikar Banu Makol Hamayim Natan Lanu HaTorah, Baruch atah Yahweh Notan HaTorah. Let us say, blessed be Yahweh. Blessed be Yahweh the Blessed One. Blessed are you, Yahweh the Blessed One, for all eternity. Blessed are you, Yahweh, our Elohim, King of the universe, who selected us from all the peoples and gave us your Torah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, giver of the Torah, to the Elohim of Avraham, Yitzhak, and Israel, our Savior, our provider, healer, sustainer, deliverer, King, and Elohim, do we come before you today, Master, once again on this set-apart day, with bowed head and humble hearts, asking you to forgive us of our sins and cleanse us of unrighteousness, Master, that our prayers be not hindered this morning. Hear when we call unto you, Elohim of our righteousness, and turn not a deaf ear to our cries, but that you would lend ear to our supplications once again, Master, and that you would answer us speedily, O King. Master, we ask that the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts here that are assembled today be acceptable in thy sight. We ask that you would continue to keep us, Master. We ask that you would look upon us with favor, that you would look upon us with a tender heart and with a kind eye, O King, and that you would speak kind words towards us. Because, Master, we know that your word shall not go out empty, and it shall not return unto you void, but shall accomplish all that you sent it to do. So, Master, if you speak evil against us, O King, then it cannot be reversed, Master. So we ask that you would have mercy upon us. Continue the mercies that you have shown us daily, that you woke us up this morning and gave us activity of our limbs and clothed us in our right mind and started us on our way. You have taken us out of idolatry, and you have shown us your truth, and you have given us your Torah. And Master, we attempt to live by it as we are assembled here today. So we ask that you would show us grace and mercy as we are attempting to keep thy laws and keep thy mitzvot, O King. In this land of exile, that we are doing our best, Master, and that you would continue to keep us, and that you would teach and lead this house and our leadership, Master, that we may continue to try to walk in thy word, and that we may walk the straight and narrow and not turn neither to the left nor to the right. But you would have mercy upon us when we do stumble, O King, and that you would not forget us, Master, that you would Zakar, remember us, Master, on that great day when you said that the slain of yours shall be many, that you would raise us up, O King, and that you would take us back to the land that you promised our father Abraham. And we thank you, Master, for life, health, and strength, food, clothing, and shelter, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We thank you for this temple that you have allowed us to assemble in. We thank you for keeping our children as they have traversed throughout this land, and you have brought them home safely each night, Master. We thank you for those that may be assembled with us online, and that the distance may be too far, they may be sick in their bodies, Master, but you would count them as part of this assembly as we meet on thy set-apart day, as you made the world in 6 days, on the seventh day you rested. And you say we shall also rest, and we shall have a solemn assembly, and those that keep that ordinance, Master, are in a covenant with you. So we are thy covenant people, O King. And we thank you this day, Master, and we ask that you would continue to heal our bodies and lift us up and strengthen us. And Master, we accept thy discipline, O King, for we accept the discipline of our Father, Master, but we ask that you would continue to have mercies upon us, and that you would continue to keep us until we can meet here again. And this is our prayer. Amen.
Shalom to all of you. Join with me in reading, if you would, please, the Helium, Psalms 142. A Maskell of David when he was in the cave, a prayer. Let us read. With my voice I cry to Yahweh. With my voice I plead to Yahweh for mercy. Before him I pour out my complaint. Before him I tell my trouble. When my spirit faints within me, you watch over my path. By the road that I am walking, they have hidden a snare for me. Look to my right and see that no one recognizes me. I have no way of escape. Nobody cares for me. I cried out to you, Yahweh. I said, you are my refuge, my portion in the land of the living. Listen to my cry, for I have been brought very low. Rescue me from my persecutors, for they are too strong for me. Lead me out of prison so that I can give thanks to your name. In me the righteous will be crowning themselves because you will have treated me generously. 143, a psalm of David. Yahweh, hear my prayer and listen to my pleas for mercy. In your faithfulness answer me, and in your righteousness don't bring your servant to trial. Since in your sight no one alive would be considered righteous, for an enemy is pursuing me. He has crushed my life into the ground and left me to live in darkness, like those who have been long dead. My spirit faints within me. My heart is appalled within me. I remember the days of old, reflecting on all your deeds, thinking about the work of your hands. I spread out my hands to you. I long for you like a thirsty land, Selah. Answer me, Yahweh. Answer me quickly, Yahweh, because my spirit is fainting. Don't hide your face from me, or I'll be like those who drop down into the pit. Make me hear of your love in the morning, because I rely on you. Let's read that one again. Make me hear of your love in the morning, because I rely on you. Make me know the way I should walk, because I entrust myself to you. Yahweh, rescue me from my enemies. I have hidden myself with you. Teach me to do your will, because you are my El. Let your good spirit guide me on ground that is level. For your name's sake, Yahweh, preserve my life in your righteousness. Bring me out of distress. In your grace, cut off my enemies. Destroy all those harassing me, because I am your servant. Amen. You may be seated. It's always good, as I mention each week that we come here, it's always good to be in the place the Most High has provided for us to be able to gather and to worship. Worship is the act of paying homage to the Most High El and his goodness, his mercies, and his grace. I want to mention that one of our online parishioners in the D.C., Maryland area has asked us to pray for her. Monique, and we want to pray for you. That I understand the aspect of not having a personal, touchy, you can look in the face community. And many of our people who are coming this way don't have a congregation to congregate with and don't have that real connection, and it's difficult for them. So we're praying for you and the fact that you are trying to bring the message of the Most High to your friends and your co-workers, the people that you work with. She works with juvenile delinquents, and She has a heart and a burden for them. The Most High can open people's hearts and minds if they're willing to allow that to happen. We pray for the strength of everybody, particularly our Hebrew people, brethren everywhere. I realize and I know that we all have the same foundation. We may all have a different understanding of things. We may all have a different conviction about things. But we love Yahweh. We love his commandments and his mitzvot. We're doing our best in this exile to understand them and walk in them according to his ways. So, to that, we give thanks to the Most High. There's a QR code on the screen for those of you that are watching by stream. We would so much appreciate it if you're receiving benefit from the teachings and the service that we provide online to you. We would very much appreciate it if you would send your offering of gratitude. If you were in the building and we were passing the offering plate, you would be giving something. So because we're not passing an offering plate, and which I never do and haven't done in this congregation for many years, the offering plate in the congregation is in the back, and if you choose to give, there's where you would put your offering. I'm not begging anybody for money, but I think as Hebrew Israelites, we ought to have a responsibility for the house that we come to worship in to at least contribute to the existence of that building. So there's a QR code on the screen. So gives you all the information whereby you can send your contribution. I would be very much appreciative of that. We've been enjoying the teaching from the Moray Appleton as he walks through the scriptures that provide us the information germane to the mitzvot. And he is going to come today and continue that discussion as we walk through Shemote, Exodus, chapter 13 and 14. Sean Appleton.
All right. How are we doing today? We all right? Tove Mail. It's only one person in here. Oh my gosh. If you don't know, Biggie Smalls, don't even do it. If you don't know, now you know. If you don't know, Tove Mail means what? Very good. You're doing good. Very good. Very good. Very good. To the beneficent, the Most High Yahweh, who has allowed me to be here before you on yet another Shabbat, a Shabbat that has been ordained for Hebrew Israel to observe, and only Hebrew Israel to observe. That is why we meet every 7 days, because we have a mitzvot that tells us to. Other religions might meet every 7 days, but they don't know why they meet every 7 days. It's just out of tradition for them. We have a mitzvot as Hebrew Israel that says we to meet every 7 days. So honoring that mitzvot to wholly convocate, I thank the Most High for allowing me to be here today. To those of you that are, joining us by way of the stream, I want to say Shabbat Shalom to all of you. Today, we welcome you, our digital family. For those of you that are observing a mitzvot who can't be in a place where you can be amongst the Most High's people, Shabbat Shalom to you. For those of you that have ailments who cannot physically be amongst the Most High's people, Shabbat Shalom to all of you. For those of you that are coming to troll in the chat, for those Christians, for those Hebristians that are there, you know who you are, the moles that have showed up, the squirrels that have showed up, Shabbat Shalom to all of you. We welcome you into our comment section. But when you come into the comment section, make sure you have your receipts. We keep our comments germane to the Most High's word and his text. Please do not come in here telling us what you believe and you don't have any receipts to back it up with. Okay? I believe this, I believe that is not going to get you anywhere. We are a group of people that like to dig into text. We don't add to, we don't take away from. Okay? So, welcome, welcome, welcome for those of you that are joining us in the chat. For our descendants that are here with us today and those that are not, Shabbat Shalom to you. Hopefully you'll hear these recordings and be able to stand on the shoulders of giants and see further. To our dignitaries that are here in the room, to Moray Gerald Beacom, Shabbat Shalom to you, sir. To the Moray Trey Beverly, Shabbat Shalom to you. In about 4 weeks, you're going to be up. Okay? He always brings something fresh and new out of the text when he gets up and speaks. So look out for him coming up here in a couple of weeks. I know he's got probably something planned, don't you? Always got something planned. All right. To the Honorable Robert B. Holman Jr., Shabbat Shalom to you, sir, and to Brother Charles. Shabbat Shalom to you. And I'm not going to leave you out, Johan. You back there too, okay? Ambassador Tate. Shabbat Shalom to you, sir. All right. Now. All right. See, I like this. The one that I talk about the most every single week was the first one to move today. He positioned himself in the proper position. Why? Because in Vayikra, chapter number what? 19, verse 32 says, you are to stand in the presence of those that have what? Gray hair. And honor those that have come before you that have wisdom. So turn to the person that's close to you that has gray hair. Look them in the eye and tell them, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All right. To my studio audience, you may be seated. To my studio audience who is joining me here today, Shabbat Shalom to all of you. We are going to go subterranean today. We are going to be nerdy today. We are going to take a look at something right off the bat. My thunder is coming right out of the gate today, okay? We're not going to wait to the end today because both of these chapters, 13 and 14. Did I say 13 and 14? I messed y'all up. I sure did. I sure did. Let's change it. Come on. We going to get it. Let's get it right. He said, well, Moray's up here reading the board. I am so sorry. We're not doing 13 and 14 today. We are in 11 and 12. Somebody didn't catch me. They're like, what? You skipped. Let's change that. We are in 11 and 12 today. All right. And then, whoo, Moray, you were scaring me. 11 and 12. That's where we're going to be today in Shemote. Again, we're going to go subterranean. We're going to do some. If you got your Hebrew text with you via on your phone or on your tablet, or if you have it in your hard copy, if you don't have it, read it off the screen. We are going to go extremely slow today. Okay? There is a concept that I want to introduce, that the one thing that we do as Hebrews is we talk and we reason together. I want to introduce an alternate way of thinking when we go over these two chapters, okay? And I'm going to jump right into it because I don't have a liturgy. I don't have anything that I need to add today. We're just going to get right into it. Actually, I do. Matter of fact, I do. I'm going to change my mind. Let's go over where we're at so far. We are in Shemote. What does Shemote mean in Hebrew? Let's start there with the basics. What does Shemote mean in Hebrew? Shemote is the book of Exodus. What does Shemote mean? The names, The names of who? The names of the sons of Yaakov that went down into Mitzrayim. It's recapping who went, because they were already there in Bereshit, or Genesis chapter number 47. You see that they're already in the land of Goshen, all right? This is just recapping giving the names of who went. That's how it starts out, all right? What's happened so far? We've seen the birth of Moshe, right? We've gotten through that. Moshe's gone ahead and he's show you that. What did I do? I did the thug life right across the thing. If Moshe lifted up his shirt, it'd say thug life. Why would it say that? Because he put somebody down. He put one of them Egyptians down, right? He put him down, right? Killed somebody that made him go on the run, right? Where? Where did he run to? The land of Midian, all right? Where he married a Midian woman, right? Who was the daughter of the priest. The Midian priest, okay? That's who he married. He has sons while he's out there, and then he gets the commission to go back because the Most High has heard the cry of the Hebrew people. He says it's time for them to lead, and you will be the guy that's going to lead them out. He gets his commission, right? There, those far. All right. So he said, hey, if I go back and I talk to these people and I tell them this is what's going to happen, we find out what the name of the Most High is. Where is that at? What chapter is that in? Johan knows this. The name of the Most High is in what chapter in Shemote or Exodus? We got to know where that is. 3 and what? 15. Let's go there. Let's get our basics down. So when we're having discussions with individuals and we ask them, hey, I believe in God. Okay, what's God's name? And they ask you, well, what's the name of your El? You should be able to give them the receipt. And the receipt can be found in Exodus or Shemote, chapter number 3, verse 15. What does it say? It says, Yahweh said further to Moshe, say this to the people of Israel. Say it to whom? Did he say it to the world? No, he said it to whom? To the people of Israel. What? Yod He Vav He, the El of your fathers, the El of Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov has sent me to you. This is my name forever. Okay? Up above, you hear me say Eye Ashe Eye a lot. That's what's up above that. He introduces himself as another name as well, but he said, that is going to be my name forever. So we know where our receipt is for the name of the Most High. This is also a place where you can take individuals and say, this is what it says here. Does it say that in your Bible? No, it doesn't. That name has been left out on purpose to sell you an agenda, and that agenda is Jesus Christ, because that's the only name that you will associate with God. Is that name. So every time you see Lord and God, you think of JC, because there is no other name that's in that book that you associate L with. Okay? All right. Now, we find out the name of the Most High. The Most High says, okay, tell this to them. And what does the Most High say to Moshe? He says, you're going to ask for a sign. This is what these people want. What are the 3 signs? Oh, I'm not doing a good job. Y'all not listening to me. What were the 3 signs? The snake, right? The staff to the snake. What was the second one? Hand. That's the portion of text where we go back and say, now we know that Moshe had to be melanated, because it says he stuck his hand in his coat. And when his hand came out, it was white as snow. And then when he put his hand back in his coat, it went back to the original color that it was. So he couldn't have been a lighter skin complexion. Had to be back to the color that it was, which is, obviously you're in that area already. That's an area that's populated by melanated people. Come on, that's what it is. Okay? So, after we get through that particular piece, right, he says he gets what's the last sign? The snake. We got the snake. That's the first sign. The second sign is the hand in the coat. What's he said? If they still don't believe you, then what? Take that water, turn it in to blood, okay? Then they'll believe you. He goes back, he convinces the leaders of Hebrew Israel who he is. Now he has to go back in front of Pharaoh and do this. So he's in front of Pharaoh, and that is when we start seeing these plagues roll out, right? Now we're around chapter 7. Chapter 7 in Shemote is where the plagues start. We're still in Mitzrayim, okay? Chapter 11 is the culmination of all the plagues. I want to go slow, okay? This is what we meant by it's not reading faster, or it's not reading slower. It's taking the issue and digesting it. I want to introduce a thesis to you right now. Chapter 11 is the culmination of all 10 plagues. Chapter number 12 gives you the detail of what the last plague was, and simultaneously giving you a mitzvot at the same time. Okay? It's where we get our liturgy for what we do for what major festival that is getting ready to come up for all you Hebrews. What's the next one that's coming up for you? I'm not talking about the Rosh Chodeshes, and I'm not talking about the Shabbats. I'm talking about major Moedim that's getting ready to come up. What's your next one? Pesach. What comes right after Pesach? Feast of Matzah. Absolutely. Okay, good. We're all on the same page. There's all Hebrews in here. Excellent. Okay? So that's where we are. 11 is the last one. That's the beginning of my thesis. I'm going to open my thesis up a little bit, okay? But I want to go through 11, and I want to ask some questions, and we're going to have a little midrash, okay? Kind of like a mini little podcast. So I'm going to need y'all to talk to me. So I'm going to need, if Bruh Beacon back there got a microphone, you need to have it. Moray, you need to have yours too. Okay? We're going to have some discussions today. They have so many eloquent comments that they make. The folk online need to hear y'all participate. He's got the handheld right there. So if I'm on 2, he's going to be on 3. Okay. Let's go to chapter number 11, and let's start. Let's just exhume what's here and just read what's here, okay? Let's read what's here. Now, let's do something first. Let's have a little bit of interaction, so I want to wake up your vocal cords a little bit. The last plague is what? The last plague is the plague of the death of the firstborn. Okay? The death of the firstborn. What can you tell me about it? Yes, sir. The blood got put over the doorpost. Yeah. The Spirit of the Most High went and killed the firstborns and all of Mitzrayim, all of Egypt, all of those that were covered with the blood on the doorpost didn't get touched. What else can you tell me? Tell me about what you know about this last plague.
The one thing I would like to say about it is
sure.
that Christians can't correlate the two. That the Most High killed the firstborn of the Mitzrites because he wouldn't let his firstborn son go. So he didn't kill the firstborn, he killed the firstborn son.
Firstborn son.
Not only firstborn son, but the firstborn male of everything in Egypt, everything in Mitzrayim.
That's
so
correct.
The firstborn male chicken, goat, dog, roach, cat. He killed the firstborn male of everything because Pharaoh wouldn't let his firstborn son come out and serve him. And they can't correlate the two.
They can't correlate the two. I mean, they won't do, but they can't. Who else? Who else? Beautiful. Yes, sir. That you got to have a microphone. I ain't gonna let you talk without one, because I can't repeat what some of the stuff y'all say. I'm giving y'all the cliff notes. Go ahead.
Saying this is the plague that I guess irritated Pharaoh enough to let him go.
This irritated him enough to let him go. Okay, what else? Ladies, Can't let all these men talk. Come on. Let's go team woman. Come on. Ladies, let's get a couple of ladies in there. What can you tell me about this? What do you know about it? Y'all don't know? I know y'all know. Y'all being shy today. Y'all being shy with me? Y'all all blushing. I'm looking at all y'all. I ain't saying nothing. Listen. Your answer's not wrong unless it's way, way off. And we'll do it in love. But y'all been doing it? Okay, come on. Who else? Let's keep it moving. Maybe one or two more comments, and then I'll get right into this. What do you know about this? The firstborn. Okay, it's about the firstborn. This plague. Yes, ma'am. Come on. Now we got a brave soul. Thank you. Come on.
The Most High put the plague out on them because he wanted them to recognize that you think you got my son, but I got your son's life in my hand, and everything that is a firstborn male shall not live as long as my son is not set free.
Right. Okay. That's another good way to look at it. That's another good way to look at it. I like these answers. I'm going to give you an alternative way to look at this, and this is why I want your books out. I want you looking and reading along, and we'll break every piece of this down. I want to give you a different perspective here. Okay, let's go through it. Chapter 11, let's go slow. And again, this is the culmination of all of the plagues. This is the last one. But before we get into the detail of this particular one in chapter number 12, it's like in the beginning where it says the Most High made everything in 6 days, and he says on the 6th day he made man. And then you have chapter number, I think it is number 2 in Bereshit, that tells you exactly what happened on the 6th day. It's like I'm giving you the overview of what happened. Now I'm giving you the detail of what actually happened on that day. That's how 11 and 12 are set up. Okay? Think of it that way. Eye Asher Eye said to who? I'm looking at you, Jaja. Because I'm going to come back to you. Because you're smiling at me. And that was a mistake. Yahweh said, what? Said to who? To who? To who? Okay. As long as we clear who Yahweh is speaking to. All right? It says, I am going, there's a reason why I'm bringing that up. I'm going to bring still one more plague on Pharaoh and Egypt, or Mitzrayim. And after that, he will let you leave. When he does not let you go, when he does let you go, he will throw you out completely. Now tell the people that every man is to ask his neighbor and every woman her neighbor for gold and silver jewelry. Eye Asher Eye made the Egyptians favorably disposed towards the people. What does favorably disposed mean? If you look up favorably disposed and you Google that, it means that they had a great attitude towards whatever it's pointed to. Yahweh, listen, wouldn't you think at the end of the day, I got all these plagues that came on here, possibly because of these people that's living here, they're the reason. Wouldn't you be upset at them? It doesn't make, and it does when you get into 12. Yahweh, so that's cleaning up something that I had thought I didn't think about before. I was thinking that these people were upset at Hebrew Israel. Favorably deposed means they actually had a great attitude towards them. Instead of being upset at them, they liked them. And listen to what the text continues to say. It says, let's go. Aya made the Egyptians favorably deposed towards the people. Moreover, Moshe was regarded by Pharaoh's servants and the people as what? A very great man in the land of Mitzrayim. Moshe was respected by all. Okay? Just like Joseph. Great point. 4. Moshe said, Moshe said, here is what Aya says, about midnight I will go out into Egypt, into Mitzrayim, and all the firstborn of the land of Mitzrayim will die, the firstborn of Pharaoh sitting on the throne to the firstborn of the slave girl at the handmill, and the firstborn of the livestock. There will be a horrendous wailing throughout the land of Mitzrayim. There has never been another like it, and there never will be again. But not even a dog's growl will be heard against any of the people of Israel, neither against the people nor against the animals. In this way, you will realize that Aya distinguishes between the Egyptians and Israel. All your servants will come down to me, Moshe, and prostrate themselves before me and say, get out, you and all the people who follow you. And after that, I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a heat of anger. Moshe was upset after he gave him this dissertation. Aya said to Moshe, Pharaoh will not listen to you, so that still more of my wonders will be shown in the land of Mitzrayim. 10, Moshe and Aharon did all these wonders before Pharaoh, but Aya made Pharaoh's hard-hearted, and he didn't let the people of Israel leave his land. What is weird in that whole entire piece? Does anything stick out to you as being off? Is there anything in there that sounds weird? Okay, let me show you. Here's my hypothesis. Yes, sir.
I don't know if this is correct. I'm just speaking from my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the first of the month kind of started in a random spot of the year, kind of.
Okay.
He's saying you are to begin your calendar with this month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's a random spot in the year, but it's just so happened to be on the day that they're leaving.
That's getting into the next chapter where you get into the mitzvah of it. Okay, let me show you what I saw. Okay, let's slow down. Let's go all the way back to the top. I want to introduce something. That's why I want my mores checking me and everybody checking me too. Let's read it. This is what I saw. Eye said to who, Jaja? Moshe. What did he tell Moshe? He said, I am going to still bring one more plague on Pharaoh and Egypt. After that, he will let you leave. So after the last plague, he is going to let you leave. Why down here in verse number 10, scroll down there, please, where he says, Moshe and Aharon did all these wonders before Pharaoh, but Aya made Pharaoh hard-hearted and didn't let the people leave. What's going on here? Hold on. Let me develop it. No, that's all right. I'm getting a little overzealous. Verse 1. Aya said to who? Moshe. I am going to bring still one more plague on Pharaoh and Mitzrayim, and after that, he will let you leave here. When he does let you go, he will throw you out completely. Now, tell the people that every man is to ask his neighbor and every woman her neighbor for gold and silver. Aya made the Egyptians favorably disposed towards the people. Moreover, Moshe was regarded by Pharaoh's servants and the people as a very great man in the land of Egypt. Moshe said to whom? Paro. What did he say? Here's what Aya said. Aya never said anything about killing the firstborn. Where did you read that? When did Aya say to Moshe, tell Pharaoh, I'm going to go through Mitzrayim and kill the firstborn? Where? 4. In here? Exodus chapter 4. Okay, let's go get it. Where are you saying in 4? 4 and 22. All right, let's go look it up. It says, Israel, let my people go. It didn't say he was going to go through and kill the firstborn. I'm looking for where it says, I'm going to go through and kill all the firstborn. Kill your firstborn, and I will kill your firstborn, right? Okay, I'm going to kill your firstborn. So, I will kill your firstborn. Well then I will kill your firstborn, okay? All right. Have to let my son go. All right. Where I was getting ready to go with this, okay? Because he tells him, all right, we have that evidence there that Moshe said this is the one. This is the last one, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this at the evening time, right? Okay. So, so he tells him that. So we've pinpointed that. Because nowhere in that dissertation in 11 up above, he tells him, he says, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go tell him to go ask him for what? For riches. Riches and jewelry. This is the last plague. Right? Moshe goes ahead and tacks on this extra piece. How does he know? Okay. He tacks on that extra piece. At that moment, every time the Most High told Moshe to go do something, he went ahead and did exactly that. Where did he tell him to go do that? That was going to be the last plague. Where did he tell him that? He said he's going to do it. He's going to take his firstborn, but he doesn't tell him when he's going to do it. Moshe made that election. You see that? Read the first one. You see where I'm going with this? I'm trying to set up an issue here as to why Pesach is Pesach. Why are we doing Pesach? Okay. I'm going to argue with you. You do Pesach because of Moshe's disobedience right here. He said after the last plague, he's going to let you go. You got right there in that chapter, he said after the last plague, he didn't let him go. So why didn't he let him go? Pharaoh's heart was hardened by the Most High, right? Okay? And that was because he's leaving. He says, listen, after you did this last plague on Pharaoh, he's going to let you go. What did he tell him? Let's go back to 11. He tells him at the back of 11. He said he left out of there mad. And that's when the Most High told Moshe, he says, he's not going to listen to you. He's not going to listen to you. All right? He's not going to let the people go. But after this last thing happens, then they're going to let you leave. What is the very last thing that has to happen before they leave? They have to fleece the people of all their riches. They don't leave until that happens. So, I'm going to argue Moshe's disobedience in doing what the Most High asked him to do, which was go and tell the people to go get the jewelry. Did he not say that? Come on. That's what I'm saying. Get your text out. It says, I'm going to still bring one more plague. What plague? Every time you have a pattern from plagues 1 through 9, starting in chapter 7, going through chapter number 10, the Most High says, I'm going to send frogs. I'm going to send lice. I'm going to send hailstorms. I'm going to send sores and boils. He doesn't say it. He says, I'm going to send one more plague. And then after that, they're going to let you go. When he doesn't let you go, when he does let you go, he's going to throw you out completely. Now tell the people, every man is to ask his neighbor, and every woman her neighbor, for gold and jewelry. So, the idea here is because, Moshe, you didn't go and tell Pharaoh what I told you to do, because of your disobedience, now we're going to have a sacrifice. That is why Pesach is called a sacrifice to the Most High. What did you sacrifice? A goat. A goat what? In its first year, without blemish. If you go to Vayikra chapter number 4, it will tell you what the sin of a leader is, because that's what Moshe is. He's the leader. Right? Go to Vayikra chapter number 4. Let's go see what the sin of a leader is. You went to Paro and you didn't do what I told you to do. I told you to speak to the rock, not hit it. Okay? I'm starting to see, because I got to reconcile the issue of all these plagues happen and he still wouldn't let them go. But then you got that first sentence in the Most High saying in 11 that says, after the last plague, he'll let you go. It sounds like there's a contradiction in the text. Okay? He is going to let him go. The Most High is saying, I want the people to get fleeced. Okay? I didn't tell you. I was going to take their firstborn. I didn't tell you when I was going to take it. You decided that was going to happen. That's not what I told you to do. What is it saying for? Let's read what the punishment here is. Moshe violated the Most High's edict. He is what? The leader of the Hebrew people. Let's scroll down, because we got to get to what is the atonement for a leader. And it's going to mimic exactly what you're going to possibly see in Pesach. And keep going down. It says something about the leader. Keep going. It's all the way down. If a Kohanim, nope. From the curtain, the Kohanim 4. You in Vayikra 4, right? 22. There we go. Where are we at? That's the community. All right. Now we should have a leader coming up.
22. Verse 22.
All right. 22. It says, when the leader sins, what is sin? A violation of the Most High's edict. When a leader sins and inadvertently does something against any of the mitzvot of Yahweh, this is something that I'm just saying is mirroring what be happening here in Pesach. It says, when a leader sins inadvertently and does something against any of the mitzvot of Yahweh concerning the things that should not be done, he is guilty. If the sin in which he committed becomes known to him, he is to bring as an offering a what? Male goat without defect. Lay his hand on the goat's head and slaughter it in the place where? Where they slaughter the burnt offerings in the presence of Yahweh. It is a sin offering, right? The Kohen to take some of the blood of the sin offering and on his finger and put it on the horns of the altar and for the burnt offerings. Its remaining blood he is to pour out at the base of the altar for the burnt offerings, right? He's to make it go up in smoke, like all the fat of the sacrifice for the peace offerings. Thus, the Kohanim will make atonement for him in regard of his sins, and he will be forgiven. The blood is the life, so that's what we're doing. We're putting the blood on the door, all right? We committed an egregious sin. We didn't do what the Most High asked us to do, so now I'm asking for an atonement. This is when we get over into 12. My postulation is this is why the Most High is saying this is a Pesach is a sacrifice to me. What are sacrifices for? They can be for voluntary offerings.
They can be for other things, but the majority of them are for what? Sin. So what sin was committed? You didn't do what I told you to do.
Wow.
Go ahead.
I think you're on point too, because that Pesach offering is instructed that it can only be burnt by fire.
It can only be burnt by fire. You see a lot of the things that you see in Pesach, you're going to see show up in Vayikra chapter number 4 for the sin of the leader. So when we're looking at Pesach, we're remembering, hey, listen, you are not to do your own thing. When I tell you to do something, that's what I want you to do. And thus, because of it, this sacrifice had to be brought, because I wasn't going to allow you guys to be doing your own thing, leaving out of Mitzrayim. We got to get you right before you leave.
You different, Sean. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay? You said you different. I'm the original. What they call me? I'm the original FJB. That's what they call me online, the original FJB. You know what that is? Fake Jewish bodybuilder. Okay? So we can kind of see, okay, leading up to this, now it makes sense. He's not going to let you go. Had you have gone up to Paro and told him, just take all the money from the people, we probably wouldn't have had to go through this, but I already knew back in chapter number 4 what you was going to end up doing, okay, at the end of the day. So you went and said that. I can't renege on that. You're forcing me to do this. So I'm not going to have my prophet go in front of Paro and then say, okay, then flip-flop. All right? I got to carry this out. So since we're going to do it this way, let's go over what you got to do for Pesach. All right? That's in chapter number 12. We good? Yes, sir.
So, in chapter 4, we saw that the Most High told Moses to tell Pharaoh that Israel is my firstborn son. I will take your firstborn son.
Yeah.
But he repeated that again later on to Pharaoh, basically.
He repeated it to Pharaoh here in 11. Moshe getting out. I'm saying Moshe, again, my thesis is up for discussion. Okay? My thesis is that Moshe went ahead, told this to Paro. Moses was on his own. Moshe was on his own on this one. The Most High never told him to say that. I'm pretty sure that the Most High would have done something like this when the time was right, but Moshe forced it here. Thinking, okay, well, this is the last plague, then this is what it's got to be. Because we never know what that plague is when we open up 11. The only thing Moshe is told to do is what? Go take the riches from the people. That's it. And then after that's done, Pharaoh will let you leave. So let's see when we read 12 that they actually leave after the people get plundered. They don't leave when the firstborn dies. They leave after the people get plundered, like the Most High said. Yes.
It also fits into your what you're presenting, because this is the only one they had to actually do something to not be affected by the plague. Everything else it didn't affect the Israel. This one they had to actually
participate.
do something to not be inflicted by it.
Right. They had to participate. Yep. Yes, sir. Where your microphone?
Would you say the Most High requested these sacrifices as more of a part of going into this and being clean, just to
There you go.
just to make sure, because as a leader and stuff, we can all
Yeah.
mess up and slip in different ways. So it's like, hey, do this process so it's a security that you're clean
Right.
to go
Right.
further.
Right. You went ahead and since you got, exactly, I want my people clean and set apart. and as that particular process. You went out there and did that on your own, and you jeopardized all of Egypt by your words. So let's just make this blood atonement with this goat and put this over the door to make sure that these people are covered under this for this atonement that has to be made because of your mistake as a leader. That's what I'm presenting as why Pesach is Pesach.
I can see that now.
His mistake. So his mistake is this. In chapter 11, in the beginning of chapter 11, exactly, my wife over here says, we're going to play Simon Says. Simon Says. Yes, ma'am. I'm answering this question, but I'm getting you at the same time. Yes.
Moray,
Yes.
what about also the fact that he did not circumcise his son and his wife did it?
His sons did get circumcised, and the Most High said, you know what? Yeah, you almost got took out because of the fact that you didn't do what I asked you to do. Yeah, we're starting to see with Moshe is that he's not, I like the fact that he's still a human being, okay?
He's not perfect.
He's not perfect. He gets frustrated. How long are we going to play this cat and mouse game where I keep going back and all these plagues and we're not leaving up out of here? I'm getting frustrated. Many of y'all don't know black folks. I do. They will get on your nerve, okay? And you talking about a million plus of them whining, okay? So he's not without fault, but we're starting to see it early here in Moshe. If we look at it from the lens of, okay, I'm reading exactly what's here, but I've got to reconcile why you said after the last plague to go, and then you turned around and said they did all this stuff and they still didn't leave. I got to reconcile that. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So here's the answer to your question. In the first couple of verses in 11, the Most High specifically tells Moshe to go fleece the people, plunder Egypt. He never tells him, go tell Pharaoh that at midnight I'm going to. Even though he said, this is what Yahweh says, I'm saying that that's Moshe talking. You're saying something that the Most High didn't say. The very stuff that you ding a lot of people on, even, hey, don't add to and don't take away from. Yeah, you told me earlier that you were going to do it, but you never specifically said here when I go and talk. That's what I'm supposed to tell him.
It's the same thing that a lot of people say because they get into their own feelings and their own mind, and they say that Yah has said something that he didn't say. That doesn't mean that there wasn't an intent that this may come to pass, but he didn't say it at that particular point in time.
Right.
I've had people come and say, well, Yahweh told me to go do so and so and so and so, and then they have to come back and say, well, I guess that wasn't Yahweh, because they were in their own mind.
Right. 100%.
So from a human perspective, we look at Moshe as being the perfect example, and not realizing that he is human and he is subject to error. When he does error, he does not err with malice of forethought or the intent to err. And sometimes what happens to us is our zeal gets in front of us. So I would say in this particular case with Moshe, since in Exodus 4, the Most High told him that he was going to kill the firstborn, with this last plague coming up, Moshe got in his mind, okay, this is the time that it's going to happen.
That's right.
And it's going to happen at midnight.
Right.
But the Most High never said it was going to happen at midnight.
Right. Which sets up, is this in Moshe's character? Absolutely. He got in his own feelings when he said, go speak to the rock. And Moshe said, you know what? I'm going to go hit it. I'm still doing something to the rock, but I'm going to hit it instead of speaking to it. The Most High is very specific, okay? If I want it done a certain way, that's the way I want it done. And you're going to see this come up again because I'm already giving you the thunder already. They don't leave after the firstborn dies. they leave after they plunder Egypt, like the Most High said in 11.
And they were supposed to do that first.
They were supposed to do that first. So let's go to 12. This is where we get our liturgy for Pesach. My more's good. We good back there, bro B? All right. I got the thumbs up. I'm ready to rock now. Let's go. Eya Asher Eya in 12. Shemote, or Exodus. Eya Asher Eya spoke to Moshe and Aharon in the land of Mitzrayim and said, you are to begin your calendar year with this month. It will be the first month of the year for you. Speak to all the assembly of Israel and say, on the 10th day of this month, each man is to take a lamb or a kid for his family, one per household. Who's got Vayikra chapter number 4, verse 22? Vayikra or Leviticus chapter number 4, verse 22. Just reference it if you got your text out. Vayikra or Leviticus chapter number 4, verse 22, starting there. What do we want to see? We want to see a male goat without defect. Let's see if we have it in there. 22. When the leader sins inadvertently, does something against the mitzvahs of Yahweh, concerning the things that should not be done, sin, right? Because yada, 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 yada. Okay, there it is. If the sin which he committed becomes known to him, then he is to bring as an offering a what? A male goat without defect. That's what we want to see. The leader sinned, male goat without defect. It's showing these kind of the form of these mitzvos working prior to them being actually assigned to them when they get to Mount Horeb. So keep looking for male goat without defect. All right. So it said, speak to all the assembly of Israel. We're back in 12. I picked up in verse 3. Say to all of Israel, on the 10th day of this month, each man is to take a lamb or a kid for his family, one per household. So we got an animal there. There's a lamb, and it says a kid. Except that if the household is too small for one lamb or kid, then he and his next door neighbor should share one, dividing it in proportion to the number of people eating it. Your animal must be what? Without defect. What? A what? Male. Is that what we're looking for? Male, without defect, first year. And it says you may choose it from either the sheep or the what? Goats. Is that what we saw in 4? It's exactly what we saw in 4. Yes, sir.
So, More,
Yeah.
if the Most High is asking for a sacrifice, this is a sacrifice, without a defect, then that sacrifice can't be beaten beyond recognition.
It cannot be beaten beyond recognition. No, it cannot. It cannot.
So if that sacrifice, if you're going to tell me that JC is the sacrifice for my sin, he doesn't meet the criteria because he has been beaten beyond recognition.
That's true.
The fact that not a bone was broken is not the issue.
That's correct. That's
the
correct.
issue is he has been deformed in his body.
Okay.
His back has been whipped with a cat of 9 tails and stripped. His back is ripped to pieces. So this animal, if this animal that's being offered as a sacrifice was ripped to pieces, he would not be accepted by the Most High.
He would not be accepted Most High.
Come on, people.
And watch this. Let me add a little bit to this. For those of you that are nerdy with these mitzvot and a mitzvot savvy, what your Moreh just quoted you is what? They're saying that he's the Passover goat or the Passover lamb, right? Saying that, okay, he was the one that was sacrificed. And we're saying here that it was a male goat. What is the male goat for? For the leader. If you're doing for individual sin, it has to be a female. He's the wrong gender too. Okay? If it's for sin and inadvertent sin, go read Vayikra chapter number 4. It will tell you that it's for a female goat, not a male. And he's 32 years too old. It has to be in his first year, okay? And also, let's also add this in here. In Vayikra, chapter number 4, it never says anything about sacrificing humans.
Yes.
Okay?
No.
Let's add that in there too. Okay? So this colorful language that the Christian church that likes to use to make all types of metaphors and spiritualize the text, people ain't going for that nowadays. NLE Chopper ain't going that for these days. T.I. ain't going for it for these days. B. Simone ain't going for it for these days. People, these young people, I'm going to tell you something. I told this to, I'm going to get to you, Brother B. I told this to my moray this week. Did I talk to you this week? I think I talked to you this week. I said, you know what? This old religion did not plan for truth. It didn't plan for the internet. It didn't plan for people actually waking up and saying, you know what, I'm going to look this stuff up for myself and read it for myself. I don't have to have somebody on stage pontificating to me about what I can go read for myself. That's how I've been studying, doing a little stuff on some culture stuff. And what cults actually do is all the information is controlled at the top, and they trickle down that information incrementally. We are not in that situation no more. What did it say? In 1989 is when the World Wide Web opened up. Information became, Daniel's book became open. Information became infinite to everybody at that particular point, okay? I don't have to look to one person to give me the word of the Most High. I can read it for myself. They don't plan on the internet. They don't plan on questioning folks. Yes, sir.
Ori, I just wanted to clarify and ask a question that you said that it was supposed to be a male sheep or goat within the first year without defect. Is that correct?
For the leader. Yes, sir.
But Christians will say that he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So when did it ever turn into a man?
See, and that's what's happening. And that's why they run from us, because we're asking, you know what, like I said, the NLE Choppers and TIs and the B Simones of the world, they're in celebrity positions and they're asking the same questions that are coming off this stage. How and why are we believing this? And that's not what it says. Yes, sir.
Brother B, the reference, as you know, he's the same yesterday, today, and forever, is a direct relationship to the one who is omniscient, the creator of all things. They're trying to make JC that, and he's not that. You know that.
That's right. That violates.
JC is not the same yesterday and today and forever. He changes his mind more times than you change your underwear.
He got an opinion on everything. Okay? We good? We just reading. That's all. We just reading. Okay? All right. Let's get back into this. Verse 6. We good? Chat's good. Room's good. We good. You good. You back there smiling. You all right? Yeah, I see you. We good. All right. You are to keep it until the 14th day of the month, right? What are we supposed to keep until the 14th day of the month? Pesach. All right. Then what? And then the entire assembly of the community of Israel will slaughter it at when? Dusk. It says, so now we have to understand, in order to be Hebraic here, we got to understand our calendar. We have to understand when a day starts. If there are questions on when there's a day start, we can take that offline. That's a whole nother teaching on how we get to the 4 portions of a day. All right?
All right, let's go back to something.
Yes, sir.
The Pesach lamb was to be slaughtered at dusk.
Yeah.
That meant that the sacrifice died
Oh, boy.
at dusk.
Oh, boy.
Right?
You see what you're getting ready to do? Okay,
Right.
come on.
But Moshe said that the firstborn was going to die at midnight.
That's right. That's right. Right.
So that explains the difference between what the Most High said he was going to do and what he did, as opposed to what Moshe said he was going to do. Moshe said they were going to die at midnight. The lamb is demised at dusk, so he dies at dusk, not midnight.
Here's the other thing that's interesting in that piece as well, is that there's this whole entire piece of JC was killed too early if he's going to be He was killed too early in the day.
Yeah.
Why? Because they said, we got to get him down before nightfall because the Shabbat is getting ready to come up.
Yep.
We got to get him down. He's coming off the cross at the time you should be slaughtering it.
Yep.
You got two different time differentials there. But you don't know that because they won't teach you the mitzvot.
They don't know them. They don't know.
You don't even know how to ask that question because what they do, the agenda is I'm going to get you to read this book. I told my wife this. I'm going to take a little side quest. There's somebody online was answering a question. They said, I don't know anything about this book. And somebody came to me and asked me, where should I start? Shouldn't that be an obvious question when you read any book? Is you start where? In the beginning. You don't start at Matthew chapter 1 halfway through, read to the end, and then invalidate everything that came before it. That makes no sense at all. And they said, well, okay, I would start them, in the what do they call the Synoptic Gospels? Because they all say basically the same thing. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Synoptic Gospels, thank you. They all say the same thing. There's basically one account of JC by 4 different people. Talk about confusing somebody. You're going to bring somebody in and bring them in the middle of the book and give them 4 different opinions about what actually happened without giving them the backstory? I'm telling you, y'all over there across the street have set us up for failure so long. And I'm telling you, the reason why we got so much heat for y'all is because of the truth that we know. And y'all still trapped in it. And I understand. I was raised in it, just like a lot of y'all. But at some point, everybody in this room did one thing. They said, Most High, teach me your truth. I'm going to tell you something. I do not care if JC gets hacked up along the way of you telling me his truth. That's where you got to be. You can't be, I want truth, as long as it's on JC. I want to know your truth, Most High. And I'm sorry if he has to get stapled up on the way, somewhere along the way, okay? But at some point, we got to wake up out of the matrix. Listen to that word. Matrix is going to come up next week. The matrix is going to come up next week. You know what the matrix is? No. The matrix is the matrix. It's where the baby is in the belly. Go read 13. Go read 13. And when you read it, there's a word in there in the King James that says the firstborn out of the matrix. Okay, we'll get to that next week. Where did I leave off? 6? Okay, we got a lot to get through. Come on. Oh, man. It says, you are to keep it to the 14th day of the month. The entire assembly of the community of Israel will slaughter it at dusk. They are to take some of the blood and smear it on the 2 sides and the top of the doorframe at the entrance of the house in which they eat it. That night, they are to eat the meat, roasted in fire. They are to eat it with matzah and mayor. Does that sound like something we do already for a particular sacrifice?
Yes.
Right. You do sacrifice it. You can eat it, and you can eat it with a grain offering. Sounds like that's an atonement for something to me. Okay? It says, don't eat it raw or boiled, but roasted in fire with its head, the lower parts of its legs and its inner organs. Let nothing of it remain until morning. If any of it does remain, burn it up completely. Here is how you are to eat it. With your belt fastened, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And you are to eat it hurriedly. This is what it is. Eya Asher Eya's Passover or Pesach. For that night I will pass through the land of Mitzrayim and kill all of the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim. You forced me to do this, Moshe. Both men and animals, and I will execute judgment. That's why it's for everybody. He's thinking it's for just the people. But because Moshe spoke up and said all the firstborn, that meant all the firstborn, including Hebrew Israel. So we got to cover them, all right? For that night I will pass through the land of Mitzrayim and kill all of the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both men and animals, and I will execute judgment against all the elves of Egypt. None of them are going to save you from me. I am signed Eye, Ashe, Eye. The blood will serve as a sign, marking the houses where you are. When I see the blood, when I see that atonement, I will pass over you. When I strike the land of Mizraim, the death blow will not strike you. This will be a day for you to remember and celebrate as a festival for Eye Ashe Eye from what? Generation to generation. You are to celebrate it as a what?
Perpetual.
Perpetual regulation. Does perpetual go away?
No.
No. Okay, so that means this is still in play today?
Yes.
Right now, this second. Okay, all right, good. For 7 days, you are to eat what? Matzah. On the first day, remove the leaven from your houses, for whoever eats matzah from the first to the 7th day is to be cut off from Israel. Which whoever eats chametz or leavened bread from the first to the 7th day is to be cut off from Israel. On the 1st and 7th days, you are to have an assembly set aside for El. On these days, no work is to be done. Is that clear? We're not working on those days. All right? No work is to be done except what each must do to prepare his food. You may do only that. You are to observe the festival of Matzah. For this very day I have brought your divisions out of the land of Mizraim. Therefore, you are to observe this day from generation to generation by a perpetual regulation. From the evening of the 14th day of the first month until the evening of the 21st day, that's 7 days, you are to eat matzah. During those 7 days, no leaven is to be found in your houses. Whoever eats food with chametz in it is to be cut off from the community of Israel. It doesn't matter. Here you go. For those that are living with you. See, this is one that's before they get to the mountain and they actually get the formal ones for the whole entire one. We're seeing one here that says, and it shows up, it says, whoever eats chametz is to be cut off from the community of Israel. It doesn't matter if he is a foreigner or a citizen of the land. Eat nothing with chametz in it. Wherever you live, eat chametz. Okay?
Moray.
Yes.
There's a word in this text that's very important that we never explain.
Chametz?
What does it mean when the Most High says you will be cut off from Israel?
Oh.
That's very important.
Please.
Most people don't know what it means. It means to be cut off from the world to come, and it means that you will never be resurrected from the dead.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're
that's
done.
A serious thing.
You're done.
Yeah.
When he says you will be cut off from Israel, that means that you will never see the light of day. And
Again.
you will never, your existence or your desire for eternal life will never come to fruition in the world to come. You're done.
Excellent. Cut off. 21. It says, Then Moshe called all the leaders of Israel and said, Select and take lambs for your families and slaughter the Pesach lamb. Take a bunch of hyssop, or Pesach goat. Take a bunch of hyssop leaves and dip it into the blood which is in the basin. And smear it on the two sides and top of the door frame. Then none of you is to go out of the door of his house until morning. For Eye Ashe Eye will pass through and kill the Egyptians. But when he sees the blood on the top and on the two sides, Eye Ashe Eye will pass over the door and will not allow the slaughterer to enter your houses to kill you. You are to observe as a law. You are to observe this as a law. You and all your descendants, how long? Forever. Okay. Hyssop. I think my Maury was telling me a kind of an anecdotal story about hyssop in some tea one of his family members had when they went overseas to Egypt. They came back and had some, or they.
Oh.
Hyssop does a lot of good things. One of the things it does in the body is it'll clean you out. It's a nice detox. Hyssop, just so you know, it says hyssop. Some of the many benefits of hyssop include, or hyssop tea include, the impact on blood pressure, respiratory health, intestinal parasites. It alleviates that, and it boosts the immune system and helps with menstrual cramps, along with other benefits. That's what hyssop does. Okay? I'll burn it. It smells really, really good. If you put hyssop oil in a diffuser and you let it burn, it smells really, really good. 25. It says, when you come into the land which Eye Asher Eye will give you, as he has promised, you are to observe this ceremony. What is this ceremony that we're talking about? Pesach and Matzah. Now, when Yahushua gets the people into the land, he has to do something first. In order for you to inherit the land, you have to have what? You got to have your ticket punched. And usually that means for the men, you need to be circumcised. So he had to circumcise all of the men, because all of the men in the desert had not been circumcised yet. So they had to circumcise them before they get into the land so they could participate in Pesach, because it's one of the things that they had to do as part of the covenant, all right, in order to get into the land. You can find that in Yahushua chapter number 5, verses 2 through 12. All right, let's keep going. It says 26. We got to march. We got to march to 50. It says, when your children ask, what do you mean by this ceremony? Say, it is a sacrifice to Eye Asher Eye's Passover, because Eye Asher Eye passed over the people of Israel in Mizraim, and he killed the Egyptians, but spared our houses. The people in Israel bowed their heads and worshipped. And then the people of Israel went and did as Eye Asher Eye had ordered Moshe and Aharon. That is what they did. Is Pharaoh letting them go? Have you ever heard him tell them they could leave yet? No. Okay. At midnight, so what are we operating on? We operating on what the covering that they're making an atonement for what Moshe did. That's the hypothesis here. It says, at midnight, Eye Asher Eye killed all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, from the firstborn of Pharaoh sitting on the throne to the firstborn of the prisoner in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of the livestock. Paro got up in the night, he and all of his servants, and all of the Egyptians, and there was a horrendous wailing in Egypt, for there wasn't a single house without someone dead in it. Now,
wow.
We can imagine Sacramento.
Wow.
Say on, well, that was, I was going to say on Christmas morning, that would have been evil to say. But he said, no, it wouldn't. Could you imagine a day in Sacramento where every household in Sacramento, there was a dead person that was in it because someone had a firstborn that was there? The Egyptians. He's talking about the Egyptians. Thank you, Moray. He's talking about the Egyptians. You know, in my house, there'd be two of us gone. I'm the firstborn, and my son is the firstborn. There'd be two of us gone. Okay? All right? So, you can tell that this is not a good time to be an Egyptian, okay? This is not playtime. 30, where we leave off here. Okay, 31. He says he summoned. Who summoned? Paro. Says he summoned Moshe and Aharon by night and said, this is Paro talking to me, says, up and leave my people, both you and the people of Israel, and go and serve Eye Asher Eye as you said. Take both your flocks and herds, as you've said, and get out of here. Bless me too. Now, this is interesting because he's telling them, now leave. Why? Because he says this, listen, when you get to this particular point, I've told you this is what was going to happen, and it actually happened. You got to look at all the negotiation that was happening with Paro and Moshe. The couple of times he went, or at least the 2 times he went before this, he said, hey, we want to go out. And they said, no, just your men. And he said, nope, everybody's got to go. He said, and he went back again. He said, everybody can go out, but your herd's got to stay. He said, nope, that's not good either. Okay? And then here he's saying, for the last time, he said, now just get out. Everybody just leave. Okay? But they didn't leave yet, even though he told them that. I just want to make a distinction here that Moshe told this to Paro, and now Paro's fed up, and he said, you can go. Have we not seen before from Paro saying, you can go, and then he changes his mind after Moshe leaves? That's how you actually get up to the 10th plague, is that he says, go, you can leave. And some of them, and he says, no, I'm changing my mind. You guys are staying. And then he has to go back and do another plague. And he says, go. On these conditions. And they negotiate it and say, nope, harden my heart. I changed my mind. So I had a mind to let you go, and then I changed it. Same thing here. He has a mind to let him go, but they don't actually leave yet. I want to get to some place first, okay? The Egyptians pressed to send the people out of the land quickly because they said, otherwise we'll all be dead. The people took their dough before it had become leaven and wrapped it in kneading bowls in their clothes and on their shoulders. The people of Israel had done what Moshe had said. They had asked the Egyptians what? Listen to this, listen to this, listen to this. He says in 35, the people of Israel had done what Moshe had said. They had asked the Egyptians to give them silver and gold jewelry and clothing. Is that not what the Most High told Moshe to do? It says, and Asher had made the Egyptians so favorably disposed, that meant that they liked the Hebrew people so much that they said toward the people that they had let them have whatever they requested. They didn't take it grudgingly. They gave it willingly, okay? Then it says, thus they plundered the Egyptians. Now you can leave. The people of Israel traveled from Ramses to Sukkot. They don't leave until the last thing the Most High said was going to come to pass, came to pass. And that was, this is the last thing that will happen. And this is when Pharaoh will let you go, is when you plunder them. Not because you told them that we're going to do the firstborn. Okay? You look confused.
I'm not confused.
It sounds like we're going to be talking after this. So again, the hypothesis here is that they didn't leave Mitzrayim, and we can clearly see as we jump down, they didn't leave until that last thing happened, which was what? We have to plunder Egypt, which is what the Most High originally told Moshe in 11. He says, I will let them go. He'll let you go when you plunder them. All right? Y'all looking at me like y'all don't believe me. That's why I want to read it to you one more time. It says in 11, Aya said to Moshe, I'm going to bring still one more plague on Pharaoh and Egypt, and after that he will let you leave there or leave here. When he does let you go, he will throw you out completely. Now tell the people that every man is to ask his neighbor and every woman her neighbor for gold and jewelry. When that happens, that's when you can leave. Is that not what just happened? Okay. All right. So we all on the same page. Okay. All right. Let's finish this up and get out of here. All right. 37. All the way to the end. Let's rock. It says, the people of Israel traveled from Ramses to Sukkot. All right. I had this little thing up here. It's probably not going to be, it's going to be a little bit too small for you guys to see. But I like this artist's depiction of it, of what's going on right here. This is where your ancestors traveled. This is all going to be happening from chapters 1 through 13 is right in here. Now they're getting ready to leave. Sukkot and Ramses. So the Mediterranean Sea is up in here, and this is a delta that's up here in North Egypt, okay? So they're right in this delta region. They're leaving from the two cities that they built, which was, they left actually from Ramses, which they were in, and Pithon is the other city that they built. We learned about that in chapter number 1 of Shemote. So they're leaving from this area here, and they're traveling to the south. They're going to get the tip of the Sea of Suf or the Red Sea, and they're going to go south. And we're going to see that in the next couple of chapters. In chapter number 13, they're going to venture out. Actually, chapters 13 through chapters number 19 are going to deal with what happened in here. Before we get to the mountain, we're going to see a couple of things happen. We're going to fight the Amaleks. They're going to get in the battle. They're also going to have 2 incidents where they're going to complain to the Most High about arriving at 2 different areas that don't have water that they can drink, potable water that they can drink. They get on the Most High's nerves, and they only get wiped out. Okay? That's before we actually arrive at Mount Horeb. And again, the Most High's taking them this route because he's saying if they go straight to the land, which is a straight shot this way on this highway, they would see war and turn back and go to Mitzrayim. Okay? So that's why he's taking them on an alternate route. But he's got to do something. He says, listen, this is where I'm going to introduce this to. You guys are going to look at me like I'm crazy. He says at the end of 11, let's go back to chapter 11, at the end. 9, 11 and 9. It says, Eye, Asher Eye, said to Moshe, Pharaoh will not listen to you, so that still more of my wonders will be shown in the land of Mitzrayim. What do you think he's talking about? You're going to do all this. We're going to do the firstborn, kill the firstborn. You're going to plunder them, right? And I'm still going to have to show them more wonders. What do you think that is? The Red Sea. I'm going to show them my might and my power for the very last time by taking them all out in that. So he's telling them already, okay? Doing a little bit of foreshadowing here, all right? Okay, let's finish. I said we was going to go all the way to the end, and I got sidetracked. But I wanted to show you that from where they're traveling, we're going to be traveling again. This is chapters 1 through 13. From 13 all the way through 20, we're going to be talking about how they transversed through there, and all you're going to see is a bunch of black folk. That's all. Complaining. Complaining and complaining and complaining. Then the Most High is going to get fed up. They're going to fight some folk on the way, just like us. All right. Here we go. 37. Let's go back to 12 and 37. It says, the people traveled from Ramses to Sukkot, some 600,000 men on foot, not counting the children. Okay, this is how we get to up into the millions of people that were there. This is just the men. We're not counting the women and the children. It says a mixed crowd, and we're not counting the mixed multitude. That's where we get that from. So it was not only just Hebrew Israel, it was foreigners with them too. Who would be the foreigner? People from Mitzrayim.
Yes, please.
They're not part of Hebrew Israel, but they're traveling with them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So even as they get birthed out of the land of Mitzrayim, there's still a mixed multitude of the Hebrew, which is the specific 12 tribes, with the ancillary groups of the nations with them, even as they come out of Mitzrayim. Okay?
So you have to ask yourself a question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
After all that the Egyptians have seen happen, why would they want to leave with Israel?
I know I want to leave. You got dead frogs everywhere, lice, the water done turned to blood, it's stinking there.
I mean,
got dead people laying around.
you see everything that the Most High has done for Israel. Why wouldn't you want to leave with them?
You would want to.
You would want to.
Right. Because the Most High is showing you that he has defeated every single L in Mitzrayim that was a major L at that time.
All of your gods I've destroyed.
Yep.
So here's my point. Why are some of our Hebrew people arguing about the foreigner?
Okay.
Ruth and Naomi are a perfect scriptural example of the foreigner being connected with Israel, out of which comes Boaz.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You're asking me.
So if people see that you have something good and that your L is better than our L, I'm supposed to tell them they can't come and worship with me?
Yeah, that's not a concept that's there.
I'm not supposed to come and give homage to the Elohim that has created all things because I'm not a Hebrew? Come on, man. Come on, how much sense does that make?
Well, I mean, again, that speaks to a greater issue that says that if you understand who Hebrew Israel is as a nation versus who Hebrew Israel as a bloodline, and I think where that gets back down to is those folks are really focused on the bloodline and getting the bloodline right, but we're talking about when the Most High, we're operating in mitzvot, we're operating as a nation of people. And that's encompassing of those that have accepted the ways of the Most High. And at the end of the day, they do not have, which we're getting ready to read here in a second, as a foreigner, there are some things you cannot participate in with the bloodline. You're still separate in particular issues.
Yes.
Let's not get that twisted. They don't get full boat.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's specific.
But you have the opportunity if you join with Israel.
Sure.
And you acquiesce to Israel's way of life. You keep the mitzvot. You keep the moedims.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, Numbers 15 and 15 says it. I'm giving you one law for you, Israel, and for the foreigner that resides with you. And the foreigner that resides with you. And the foreigner that resides with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as clear as a spring sunny day.
I mean, again, we podcasting. You want another example? Here's a good example. You know this. King David. What was one of his greatest mess ups? He said that too. What was one of his greatest? What is he known? What is he famous for? Shh. Yes, Bathsheba. You know who Bathsheba was married to? She said another person. Yeah, she was married to a guy named Uriah the Hittite. Uriah is a part of a group of people that are from Canaan, which there is a mitzvah that says you to wipe every single last Hittite out. Okay? You have other people like the Gibeonites that joined in with Hebrew Israel because they understood who Hebrew Israel was. Yes. Uriah was a part of David's mighty 30. There's a chapter that says these were the mighty men of, or at least David's personal guard. And who's named in there is Uriah, who is a Hittite, who is a foreigner. Okay? So we have evidence of the Most High saying if you're doing it by the mitzvahs, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Yes, sir.
No, you can't talk without a mic. Yeah, you can't talk without a mic.
You can't talk with a mic. Listen.
Matter of fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put one of these on him. We got 4 of them in the house.
I was just saying, when it talks about that, we have to remember, too, that in Israel, Ephraim and Manasseh, they are half Egyptian.
You know what? You brought that up, too. They are half
And
Egyptian.
Most High calls Ephraim his firstborn son in Jeremiah 31, and that's the only tribe that he called a firstborn son, and that tribe he called a firstborn son is half Egyptian.
It's half Egyptian, yeah. So there's strong evidence for the foreigner, so we shouldn't struggle with that. We just understand that this is a mixed multitude of people, and the mitzvot apply to all Hebrew Israel. We have to apply the correct ones where they have to. For instance, if I lend something to a foreigner, I can lend to him at interest. If I lend something to a Hebrew brethren, I don't lend them at interest. There's certain things that apply to them distinctly. So anyway, let's keep going. I said I was going to get y'all out of here. Y'all keep asking all these great questions. Okay. Where did I leave off? 37? 37. 38? No, 38. It says a mixed crowd also went up with them as well, livestock in large numbers, both flocks and herds. They baked matzah loaves from the dough that they had brought out of Egypt, or Mitzrayim, since it was unleavened, because they had been driven out of Mitzrayim without time to prepare supplies for themselves. Even though they liked them, they said, you guys gotta go. We're gonna end up being dead because of y'all. says the time that the people lived in Mitzrayim was how many years? 430 years of systematic slavery. Systematic, oh, y'all don't know anything about systematic slavery, do y'all? Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all descendants of the slaves don't know nothing about systematic slavery. Okay. Systematic racism, systematic all that stuff. 430 years they were in this. Okay? It says, at the end of 430 years to the day, all the divisions of Asher left the land of Mitzrayim. This was a night when Asher keeps vigil to bring them out of the land of Mitzrayim. The same night continues to be a night when Asher keeps a vigil for all the people of Israel throughout all their generations. Okay? There's a rabbit hole I could go down right now. I don't want to. It is a very important night. Most High is watching. Asher said to Moshe and Aharon, this is the regulation for the Pesach lamb. So when the Most High is speaking, let us pay attention. No foreigner. Okay, here you go. One right here. No foreigner is to eat it. If you are in a congregation and the foreigners that can't eat it, I'm sorry. Is that not what the mitzvot says?
What it says.
Okay. But if any has a slave he bought for money, when you have circumcised him, you got to meet that criteria, he may eat it. Neither a traveler nor a hired servant may eat it. It is to be eaten in one's house. For many years, we had the whole entire what? Seder thing going on. It says you are to eat it in your house. Am I off? One house. One house? In one house. Okay. Let's say, but if anyone has a slave bought with money, when you have circumcised him, you may eat it. Neither a traveler nor a hired servant may eat it. It's to be eaten in one house. What house is that? If you're supposed to eat it in a house, whose house are we eating it at? If I have people that don't have something, or they can't afford it, and it says I need to have a proportionate it out, they're going to eat it all in one house. Are we trying to say, okay, that we're going to eat it in one house with all of us together? How is that possible? Go ahead, get your microphone. Let's talk about it. Because this is out on the table. Because for many years we did Seders, and then we stopped.
Well, Moray, earlier it said that if one house was too small,
Mm-hmm.
then you would split
Yep.
the sacrifice.
Yep.
And it's my interpretation that since the house is small, that whatever the sacrifice is, that one sacrificial lamb or goat has to be eaten under one roof.
Sure.
So in this particular case, it would be eaten in your temple, in under the house that it was slaughtered at. But later on, the Most High actually changed it because you're not even supposed to celebrate Passover unless you come to Yerushalayim.
For the three festivals.
Yes, for the three festivals.
So that's another thing that we also need to bring out as well. Okay.
And also include
Yeah.
that if you did not come to Jerusalem, you weren't even supposed to
Right.
slaughter Passover lamb.
So some of these are connected to, if we're going to do them specifically the way that they're written, it has to be done in a specific place, where the temple needs to be erected, all that stuff has to be in place. So there is liturgy that's for that, okay? But while we're in exile and we're just practicing, let's put that in there, okay? Let's clean all that up. We're practicing because you cannot keep any of this in exile exactly to the T. Can we agree on that? There's nothing in here that you could keep to the T. You could do the best you can, but it's specific. Yes. Johan.
So, are they, in this particular feast, are
I'm saying this is at the home, and I'm going to give you an ironclad reason as to why. Because I'm taking hyssop and I'm putting it on the doorposts of these houses.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So when I'm putting it on the doorposts of the houses, it's not a collective communal place that they're doing this at.
Yes.
If you have people that are less fortunate than you can invite them in. They're under one household. I was seeing hands go up.
I mean, this is
Yes.
this liturgy here in Exodus 12 is germane to Israel.
First and foremost.
First
100%.
and foremost, it is germane to their exodus out of Mitzrayim.
Yeah.
It is germane to their protection from the death angel. The temple was not erected. The Mishkan was not erected.
Right.
After the Mishkan is erected and after the temple is erected, this liturgy changes.
Yep.
Because they do their Passover things in and on the temple grounds, because
Correct.
there is a mitzvah that says that you're supposed to come to the place where the Most High's name is
Right.
for these particular, for Pesach and for Sukkot.
There's three of them. There's matzah,
But they're not
Sukkot,
there
and
yet.
Shavuot. They haven't got that yet.
They
Right.
haven't
So this
gotten
is
there yet. So you have to look at both liturgies.
Yep, 100%. And that's the same thing that happened. Yeah, you have to look at both liturgies, absolutely. But again, I think here let's not leave confused. Again, we observe what we can observe. Okay, you cannot do this based on the latter. Based on the latter mitzvot that's been given to Hebrew Israel, fulfill this in totality.
So please clarify
Yeah.
for the people why we can't do these things in their totality. What are we missing?
We are missing the articles. We're missing this. That. You're missing that.
Yeah.
A lot of these mitzvot and moedims happen to have sacrifices that are brought there at a specific time. I would argue that the Shabbat cannot be taken out in complete totality because there is a sacrifice that has to be brought on that and on the Rosh Chodesh. Okay? So we're doing the best that we can with what we got in exile. But you need to have this in place. You need to have the Levitical priesthood. You need to have all that, the articles of the tabernacle, and you need to have the tabernacle in itself.
And we need to have the temple.
That's right. And you got to be in the land. It's a specific land.
And you have to be in the
It's
land.
a real estate that you got to do it. That's in totality 100%. And now we will be held accountable for that once we get back there. But while we're in exile, we are just in practice.
And this is the reason why he has extended
Grace.
to
Yes.
Israel. Grace is for Israel. Grace is for the fact that we cannot practice the mitzvos in their totality, but they have not been done away with. And so Jesus Christ didn't come with grace and truth. Israel has always had grace.
Yeah, there you go.
And if it wasn't for his grace now,
There you go.
all y'all would be dead.
Wow, there you go. You know what?
Well,
Last time you have a microphone, we're not doing that no more.
You opened it up.
I'm supposed to be on stage. Okay. 43. Let's go back up to 43 and let's go all the way down to 50 and let's conclude there. It says, Eye Asher Eye said to Moshe and Aharon, this is the regulation for the Pesach lamb. No foreigners to eat it, but if anyone has a slave brought for money, when you have circumcised him, he may eat it. Neither a traveler nor a hired servant may eat it. It is to be eaten in one's house. You are not, in one house, you are not to take any of the meat outside of the house, and you are not to break any of its bones. That's on the animal. That's not a human being, okay? So his no bones were broken, so he could no. That's not talking about him, y'all, okay? The whole community of Israel is to keep it. The whole community. If a foreigner staying with you wants to observe Eye Asher Eye's Pesach, this is good. The Most High is clarifying this for the foreigner, okay? All the males must be, what? Circumcised. Says, then he may take part and observe it. he will be like a citizen in the land, a citizen of the land. Okay. We meet this criteria, they become a citizen, but they still have the mitzvot that are applied to them.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
So in 43, he says no foreigner can eat it.
Right?
Now he says down here, if a foreigner staying with you wants to observe it.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's clarification between verses 43 and 48.
Okay. Which is the clarification is what?
The clarification
Is this the circumcision?
The clarification is circumcision.
Right.
So in 43 he says, Yahweh said to Aaron, this is a regulation, Passover lamb, no foreigner is to eat the Passover lamb. In 48 he says, if the foreigner is staying, wants to observe it, which means observing it, which means to eat it and participate in it,
Right.
he must be circumcised.
Okay, so there's two things. There's a hinge pinch that there we need to talk about in that particular piece. Just because you're circumcised doesn't give you access. I want to put that in there. I want to add something here. Circumcision of the heart too, because what are you doing this for? You're doing it because you're observing the mitzvot that is assigned to Hebrew Israel. Just because you show up in Hebrew Israel and say, I'm circumcised, oh, okay, you have to acquiesce to the ways of the Most High. That's when we get to the issue of being circumcised in the heart. You can have physical circumcision and not acquiesce to the ways of the Most High. Right. It has to be both connected.
In your body.
In your body and in your heart. Okay? The reason we saying you're being circumcised is because you believe in the covenant of the Most High and the Hebrew people. That is why you're doing it. You said this in the podcast. The Most High judges what? The intent of where you're at. Okay. It says, if a foreigner staying with you wants to observe it, and is Pesach, all his males is to be circumcised, then he may take part and observe it. He will be like a citizen of the land, but no uncircumcised person is to eat it. That means Hebrew, foreigner, anybody. Okay? The same teaching is to apply equally to the citizen and to the foreigner living among you. Not separated, living among you. It says, all the people of Israel did just as Asher had ordered Moshe and Aharon on that very day. Asher brought the people of Israel out of the land of Mitzrayim by their divisions. That is the conclusion of chapter number 12. Whew. Okay. Hopefully we had some great discussion on this today. Again, I'm presenting to you my hypothesis and thesis on what I think is happening here and how 11 and 12 are set up in that interchange of Pesach being the sacrifice to clean up an issue that's going on in earlier chapters with Moshe. Okay? So at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything. It just maybe gives us a different way of looking at it instead of saying, okay, yeah, what happened in the last plague was the firstborn being, because all y'all led with that. I said, what's the last plague? Y'all said the plague of the firstborn. But if I go to chapter 11 and I read that first part, I would say the last plague was economic destruction because the Most High decimated the economy at that particular point. He affected everything. It wasn't, and that's what he told Moshe to say, okay? So there's some things that are embedded in there that make you might want to look at it different, or maybe look at Pesach a little different. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're going to be here for another 3 hours probably talking about this. And be like, yo, more, hey, what do you mean about this? And I want to do it on camera. We good. We all good? I'm looking around. I want to see the bobbleheads. We good? We good in the chat? I didn't get roasted too bad in the chat today. I know they was talking how tight my pants are, but go ahead.
I just want to give my flowers, man, to FTF, to Maury Sean, Maury Holman, Maury Bickham, Maury Trey. What we get here is unfound in the States and in the world, really. I truly believe we have some of the best teachers in the world. I'm not glazing, I'm super serious. Like DJ Khaled said, we the best.
He said, well, we the best music. We the best.
They are built different.
Thank you. We love you. Johan Tate, Ambassador Tate. Oh, my goodness. We went a mighty long way today. Okay. Y'all all good? Okay, we good. Stand to your feet. Let me bless you. Next week, we're going to jump into 13. and 14. And again, we're going to start talking about their traveling through or leaving Mitzrayim, going through the Sea of Suf. We're going to learn about a couple of different things while we go there. But next week, again, do this for me. This is your homework next week. Make sure you read 13 from the King James Version, because there's that word matrix that shows up in there that talks about a woman's womb. That's what a matrix is. That's how they explain it. It's interesting how they frame it. With that being said, let me let you get out of here. In Bad Midbar, chapter number 6, verse 24, verses 26. So 24 through 26 says in the Hebrew, it says, Yivarekaka Yahweh v'yishmareka. Yair Yahweh panav eleka v'huneka, Yasa Yahweh panav eleka v'yasam laka shalom. Which simply means in English, may Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Eya Asher Eya Yahweh El Shaddai, Yahweh Savaot, Yahweh Nisi, Yahweh Rapha, make his face to shine on you and show you his favor. May Yahweh lift up his face towards all of you and give you shalom. West Coast Hebrews, until next time.